Another live coding session. Today we are going to try to fix the entity framework identity part for our website. And let's go over to the live coding window. And I need to open Fish Studio there. I'm terribly late again. I have to wrap up things for work and things like that. Soft as in software. So last week we tried to move over the entity framework identity stuff from the sample that I wrote earlier in the previous weeks, but that did not seem to work properly because I think it has something to do with the minimal API. What's doing over here? We have a preview 5. We are going to not do that. Not sure why it zoomed in on the Explorer window. So let's have a look here. This time we have a mix of minimal API things here in the program CS. There are some minimal things in here with a routing and a handler. And we also have some controller stuff in there, like the accounts controller and the login controller. And I'm curious to see if we can just move this over to the minimal API. Because there's some things here like the sign-in manager. Minus my demo project or real one. This is the real one, but it was not working. I previously had the demo one. If I open the other one, that was the authentication with client-side Blazor, but that's a full controller-based API in my application. And in my website, I have a minimal API, and it looked like it was not. Why is it doing this? Asking me to log in. Let's approve that. Where is it? Authenticator. Always fun. Multi-factor authentication. So it should be okay now. Yeah, this one is fully controller based. Where is it? The client server here with controllers and stuff like that. But the other one is using minimal API stuff, and I think I need to move them over to both same things. So let's try to clean that up a little bit. View history. Let's compare to the previous one. That's the API one for program, I think. The Neo didn't check yet the minimal API template with auth. No, me neither. So I added authentication in here. That should be okay. But the add controllers, I want to remove that. All these updates, why are there all these updates in my face? So let's remove the controllers here back again. And let's see what was more in here. That should be the same. That's the minimal API to add records and stuff like that. Create DB if not exists. Map controllers should not be in there. If we want to remove that. Use course is the same. Why is this such a strange indentation here? Oh, because this one is indenting here. Options, and this one is coming from that one. This one is terminated there. So that should be okay. The DB context was set to the other one. Microsoft Entity Framework, so this should be okay. Now let's have a look at the controllers here. This one, for instance. Let's start with this one. So this one is a post thingy. We have to inject the user manager there. Because if we move this one to, let's have a look, we can do that. How that would look like this one. Let's map delete, and it is, what are we talking about, post. I think that's just that's a put, I think. Reading this blog post from polovich.net. Oh, why didn't it copy that? Copy. Rich domain model with DDD, TDD, test-driven design. Code smells to avoid. Primitive obsession. Nice. Rich use case. Public sector abuse, yeah. You have to learn by example, blah, blah, blah. The customer registers a new account. That's the customer model. accounts, entity, sealed class, seems like a nice story. He's from Stockholm, like is that Sweden? Is that ABBA from the Dancing Queen? Oh no, I'm just not a quick reader. I'm a scanner. I for sure did not read everything here. Let's go back here to Google. Because we wanted to move HTTP post to minimal API. The following creates an HTTP post endpoint. Mixing of test-driven design or domain-driven design. Development. Is it development or design? Oh, why is there a command window here? My machine is acting up for some reason. Even that doesn't work anymore. Why is my machine not working? There you are. HTTP post. Why is it not in there? It was in the search results. Oh, HTTP post with a space in between. Domain-driven design, yeah. This one. HTTP post with a space in there. There we are. That's a post, map post. Let's bring that in here at the end. App. Maybe you can just move this a little bit. Map post. And then the routing will be there was something like the controller thingy. In this case, API controller, but it's accounts. So that should be accounts. Handler will be something async application DB context, and we only need the, let's see, we are going to post a model, register model. Lost track already. We should start with the handler, and what we bring in is the model. Maybe put it inside the thingy there, and I do it again. Why is that happening? That's strange. CaseDB, and then the model. From body. Interesting. All squiggly. Oh, there's another one here. Why did it duplicate that? Brackets. Oh, why is it still doing such a strange thing there? Handler. That should be async here. Async. Why is it not highlighting the async thing? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's the thing. So now we have to terminate it with something different here. Like that. Should be something like this. Gear item. And the thing that it's doing here. And how do we get this user manager there? User manager came from this one. I think that's injected by the controller. Oops. You have a user manager in a minimal API. Entity framework. Come on. Core. Must need user manager. something like this. It looks like this one. Allow anonymous. Async user manager. Get token. Let's read it properly. Add the following map post call that defines the create user endpoint. Map post minimal API security create user. Allow anonymous. That's a handler. The question is this user manager, how does that get in there? Is that provided by the caller? Create user, get token. Create a JWT as discussed in the previous part of the article and returns to the client. I wonder how it does get this user manager in there. The endpoint URL is the minimal security create user and handler accepts two parameters, a user manager and user. The user manager will be injected by direct by injection, where the user will be supplied by the client calling the API, although not mandatory. Handler is decorated with an allow anonymous to indicate that it doesn't require authentication. Moreover, it is marked with the async keyword. Inside we create an identity user, because that's basically the same as that we do in here. In our case we call it accounts, and then in this case it's taking the database and the model and in this case it takes the user manager that's injected. And where is that injected? Or this one, create users injected. Dun, dun, dun. previous part of multiple, blah blah blah. Maybe it's in the previous part. That's the token handler. Username, get token. I wonder how this takes in the, not the application DB context, but this should be then, if compare it to this one, this would take in the, where is it? This is the other one, this one. Where's the post option? There. The user manager, copy. Definition that's in there. So I wonder when that's created. And then compare it to, where is it? For identity user, new identity user. That's the same as the year. If you format it the same way, then it looks like, where is it? Come on. It's new, and then do something like this. Make it more readable, like that. Then the question is, where does it take the user manager? Oh, it should be that. Return OK. See the results, yeah. Results. Bad request or an OK. This one returns something like a string token. And it's solved automatically already. It's magic. Now the question is, will this work? Does it build? It's magic, yes. It's building. So, and I have 2 APIs on there for the accounts. Let's see if that's actually working or not. Let's put a break on this and run it. See if it appears in my Swagger. Wow, that's a white task pane. Why is it appearing here? Oh, it's just a white task pane. It should be much smaller. And it did break here. It creates a database. If it does not exist. There we get Swagger. And now we have 2 account thingies. We have the API accounts, that's the old one, the controller one, and this is the new one. So let's have a look if that's working. Let's first try to find this one. If I can remember what I put in there. Jake at docus.nl. The password, if I'm correct, would be test1234.bang. Execute. Uh, 404. Interesting, because it's maybe it did not exist. Let's have a look in the database from here. Tools. SQLite. Soft as in software, tables. And then the users. Let's see the top 200. Joe Docus. We have a Joe Docus in the database. One of the cool things about having a laptop is the ability to code while in bed. I tried multiple times, but I don't seem to be into it. I'm not sure that laptoping in your bed is the optimal way to do things. Oh. Because I'm not sure if that is helping your blood flow through your body. Where's my API thingy there? No, the other one. Swagger thing there. Let's try this again. Reset. Cancel, try it out. It was Joe, I think. No, that's not what I wanted to copy. Joe at docus.nl. Well, I'm pretty sure the password is test1234.bang. Execute. It's still 404. Maybe the password is incorrect. I think the password is not visible in the database because it's protected. Can have a look anyway. Where is it? Why is it not showing my tools? I'm not sure why it's not showing my tools anymore. Oh, it is showing my tools. Only the results were not showing. Because the password is hashed, so I can't fix that. So let's try to, if we can register the user then. Let's try accounts, that's registering. Oh wait, it was the login that we had to do. Try Joe at docus.nl. Test 1 2 3 4 bang, no dot bang, execute 404. Let's see if we can break on it somewhere. It's the controller logging in. Oh, it's already in there, but it's not starting anything. Oh, it's API controller. What? Yeah. Why is that not working? Logging in. API login. That's not found. Yeah, that's login. But the API is not showing. So the page is not visible. Oh, and that's correct because I removed all the routers for these things. So let's try the other way around then. Let's use this one. Try that out. Jake at docus.nl. Test 1 2 3 4 dot bang, execute. That stops in there, and the user manager seems to be created, and it succeeded. Successful is true. So that looks good. What did we get? Successful is true, errors is null. That looks great. And it's a 200. Okay, now let's do the other one. So by doing so, we can now delete the accounts controller. Delete. Let's check what's in there. MVC thing is no longer needed. Delete. Yes. Now we'll do the same thing with the login controller. Sign in manager. this one. So let's do this also a post. So we can simply copy the other one. Copy and make that a post. It's already a post, but it should be login. And then we don't have the user manager, but now we are using the sign-in manager. And we need to register the model, but we are using the login model. And it's making a mess of it again. Why is that copying? That's such a strange thing there. Async. No, the async should be different. The async is in front of it. And we should take this out. That's fixed by that. Then remove all of this. Yeah. And then take everything from the login there. Why is this such a strange indentation again? The one that's it. This one is not right. So that's the login part. I think it's up to there. Copy. It's magic. Bring that in here. That should be results again. Results. Security token. Configuration that's collected by something else. This sign-in manager that's there. Bad request. That should be results. Bad request, there you have it. Claim. That's from claims. Configuration, that should be done a little bit different, I think. That's just configuration, builder configuration. Should be like this. Oh, it's already solved, is it? What? Let's see. Add authentication token. It's already in here. So why are we repeating that? Looks like the same thing as this one. Issuer. And the audience. That solved it already, I think. Looks good. Then there's the same thing. Copy. And the same thing here. Security key. Should it be like this? Yeah. But it's complaining. I'm not sure why the formatting is failing on that. Let's bring that into F9 there. Build it, see if it's building. Building to up to date, that should be okay now. That means that we now should be able to also log in. F5. Did it break again? Yeah, it did break again. Swagger, we should now have accounts and a login there. The accounts is now gone from there because I removed that. Let's try logging in here. Joe, I think it was try it out. Jake at docus.nl test 1 2 3 4 dot bang. Remember me. Breaks again. Successful, true, null errors, and we got a token. That looks good. So that means that we now can remove the other controller again. This one. Let's see if there's anything that we need in here. Don't think so. Delete. Where's delete? Oh, we have to stop it first. delete. Yes. And let's also remove the folder there. Delete. Now let's have a look at the changes that we have in here. That should be a lot less now. Application DB context. That's added, yeah, because this one is using identity context. Nothing more at this position. The database initializer is needed to change that into application DB context. You already had that fixed. That's good. Then extensions. That's probably gear items. Yeah. Looks good. The application settings. So really secret random, really secret key must not be shared. Luckily we don't do this on stream, so no one is seeing this. Comments are not permitted in JSON, okay. That's interesting. Comments are not permitted in JSON because I'm pretty sure that I had this already in there. So is this just ignored then? Let's have a look in Fish Studio. Application settings. This is not complaining at all on comments, I think. We can at least remove the identity connection because that's no longer needed. In Azure, this will be overriding the value with this value. And we have to put some security key in there as well in Azure. But for now, let's just check the other things. I think that was the only thing changed here, the program CS. Let's see what's in there changed. There's a lot of this changed in there. In the using section, the application DB context. Then we have some authentication for the identity user. That will take up the configuration here. The issuer and the audience, that's in the application settings, what you just saw there, here. The issuer and the audience. I think there was some other options, expiry in days and the security key. Key there, and the expiry in days is 1 in my case. So that all looks good. So now we need to go to the client side and change the services there. Because we need to find out if we can address this information from the client. Let's see what we changed there at the client side. That's the API. We can close the API there. The model is fairly trivial. There's the classes. Then we have the authentication state provider. But this is doing things with the HTTP client, and I don't think that's necessary because we already have an HTTP client doing things. But this is collecting things like the authentication state. So let's first try to find the HTTP client. Usually what it's doing, if we go into the API that's doing this one, using this HTTP client, and how is that used? For instance, on the index page, I think, or maybe the gear page. Let's try the gear page. There's just the collecting of the gear list, but it should be done in here. It's injected here by the client factory. It will create a thing from the client factory. Let's see where we get the client, HTTP client, on the authentication part. Let's have a check on this one. No, this one. But this is not using Blazor. Get token. That's already handled, I think. Go back in here. So we start with the main layout. The main layout has a navigation in there with a login display. And the login display, where's the login display? There. gets it from the context. Starting to choke again. So we have the API authentication state provider. Where is that referenced? In the program here. So if we need to change the HTTP client not from the constructor, but this is also from the constructor. Did we get into here? Let's see if we run this. F5. I think we should do this with the injected one. There we go. There's something going on. Local storage. Oh, it's already continuing. Is that just because it failed? No. Login. Jake at docus.nl. Test 1 2 3 4 .bang. Create your login model. That's the Jake at Tweety password. And that did fail because I think the URL is incorrect. Console, what is it looking for? Where's the API in there? Alt service is failing, I think. This one is failing. API login. That's incorrect because this is not working. See that one is not right. There's login. That's doing that. Always gets to the thingy there. Let's have a look at the original message. GitHub. Go to my repos. Then authentication, this one. That should have in the link there. The original document. So let's have a look at the client here. Fast reading again. There's the controller. The controller is working, or not the controller, but the API is working. But we now need to put in the client side. Let's turn our attention to Blazor. The first thing that we are going to do is install Blazor local storage. That's what we did. We also need to update the app component to use the authorized route view instead of the route view. That's what I think we did. It's the app component. This one. That's now using the authorized route view. This one. And if it's not authorized, it's doing this. Otherwise, it will show authorization in progress, something blah blah blah. So that's this part. The component provides a cascading parameter of type task authentication state. This is used by authorized view component to determine the current user authentication state, but any component can request the parameter and use it to do procedural logic, for example. What's this? This just to check if someone is logged in or not. Creating a custom authentication state provider. We are using the client-side Blazor to. We need to provide our own implementation for authentication state provider class, because there are so many options there. When it comes to client-side apps, there's no way to design a default class that would work for everyone. So for that reason, you need to do that yourself. We need to override the get authentication state async method. I think that's this one. That checks things from local storage in this case. And mark as authenticated. Mark as logged out. parse from JWT, etc., etc. So that's the authentication state provider. That's good. But this one is using the HTTP client as an injection thing. Apparently that's done right. Let's read along. There's a lot of code here to break down. The authentication state method is called by the cascading authentication state component to determine if the user is authenticated or not. Let's have a look at that. That's in there. So this will trigger the authentication page. Get authentication state sync, async. Where is it? That's in this one. Authentication state. Get authentication state async, that's this one. So that takes this token from the storage, and if it's null, then we have to get a new one. Default request headers authorization, bearer save token, and we'll ask for a new one. Let's read on. In the code, we check to see if the auth token is in the local storage. That's what we just said. If there's no token in storage, we return a new authentication state with a blank claims principal. This is the equivalent of saying the current user is not authenticated. If there's a token, we retrieve it and set the default authorization header for HTTP client. We then return an authentication state with a new claims principal containing the claims for the token. The claims are extracted from the token by parse claims from JWT. Full disclosure, the mark user authentication helper is a helper method that's used to when user logs in. Its sole purpose is to invoke notify authentication state change method when it fires an event called authentication state change. This cascades the new authentication state via the cascading authentication state component. As you might expect, mark user logged out does almost the same thing as but then logging out authentication service. The authentication service is going to be what we use in our components to register users and log them in and out of the application. It's going to be a nice abstraction of all the stuff going on in the background. There's the HTTP client again, and apparently it's injected here again. But what I think is that the injection for the client is not going to the right page. Oh, there it is. It's going to API, and that's not right. So register and login in auth service needs to be adjusted. Auth service there. And because this was just out of scope, it should be going to accounts or to login. If I'm correct. Let's have a check on some other things here. HTTP client will be injected here by the constructor. This will go to accounts. This will go to login if it's correct. This is from the previous thing. That was, it's not needed there. Login result might be null. Authentication set item, I think async bearer token will be stored in local storage. So let's try this then. Let's see if this was working with the minimal API. F5. F5. Let's see what the token is doing. Token is null, so we don't have a token. Now we should get a new state. New claims. Yeah. So now you see there's accounts and login. Now we go in here to register. Jane at docus.nl test 1234.bang. Test 1234.bang. Let's check if that's correct. Yeah. Submit. Oh, that's failing again. Inspect. No, found two elements with non-unique passwords. What? Was it just invalid? But this is 404. Accounts is there. Interesting. Let's try it again. Once more. Register. We have to reload it, I think. Jane at docus.nl test 1234.bang. Test 1234.bang. Let's check if this is right. That's not showing that. Failing again. Why is that failing? Expected input. I think the result is exactly the same, but this is localhost 5001 accounts is 404. And the 404 that is denied, I think. Or not found. That's not found. Let's try, where is it? There. Console. Copy. That's working. I think. Yeah, but it's not posting anything. Nothing at this address. So let's go to the API. Login accounts. But it's not arriving there. Where is my course thing? Here. This one is in the list, so it should be able to do that. Also, I think what's failing is the it's the way that we do the implementation of the HTTP client, maybe. We're not logging in, or not. Maybe we do a logging in. I don't know. Let's try finding that. Where is it here? Login. I don't think it's arriving there. Authorize. I don't think I use the authorize anywhere in my API. That's what I'm thinking. sense. But it never gets in here. Neither does it go into the login section. Once more, check the changes. For the API, that is. This one. Taking the default connection. Add authentication. This is all the same. No change there, but the change in here. It's all application DB context, so that's right. Then we have some add gear to the list. That's already. Where did that go? Claims. Authentication authorization. But that's now required. Looks good to me. So why is it not finding the output there? Oh, wait. Let's close all these things there. Why does it say, is that the other one, the other project? Let's close the other project. Not to make sure that we are not confusing one with the other. It's not giving 404. After all the maps, you can add this code to wire authentication. After all the map methods. Do I have it after all the map methods? Yes, it's completely at the end. Why is it complaining? We haven't written any code that issues the JWT or validates the user yet, but we go ahead and try to invoke a minimal API using Swagger just to check what happens with an authenticated user invoke. That will give an HTTP 401, and that's to be expected. Here it gets a token. That's basically the same thing as that we use for logging in, I think. Get token handled. Handler accepts a user object. We check the username, the password. Read. We read issuer, audience, and key from app settings. String wrapped in token. So far so good. We need to pass a JWT object to the get token object for the CRUD calls. Create, update and delete. Read, update and delete. Since we're using Swagger to invoke minimal APIs, it would be nice if we tell Swagger to pass our JWT while making the API calls. This requires Swagger configuration. Passing the object using add security definition, blah blah. If you run Swagger again, then it will give a key. Close the dialog. But now we need to use it at the client. How is that done on the client? And is that the previous post maybe? So the API is working, but the connection is not found. Why is the connection not found? Let's try closing all these things. Let's close all of this as well. Let's run this with everything closed. And find out what's going on here. Well, the database is created. Let's move that. F5. We can remove the break there. We have another breakpoint. Here is client, getting the client. What's the base address? $5,001. The base address 5001, is that correct? I think so. If you look at Swagger. No, it should be the API is on 7067. should be no token. So let's try this first. Log in. Try it out. Joe at docus.nl. Test 1, 2, 3, 4 dot bang. It's going in there with email and the password. Let's run this. This will give an OK and it will provide a token. So this is working. And it's going to 6067. So the API is functioning. Now we need to... This API is also working because that's going through the same API. This one takes the client factory from the create client. Let's create a software since software API client. This is the API client that's working. The base address for this one is... See, that's a different one. It's 67067. So that's different. So the client is not right. So what if we do the same thing there? Can we do the same thing there? So log in. Oh, we need to finish this first. Then log in. Joe at docus.nl. Test 1, 2, 3, 4 dot bang. Yeah. Submit. This is, what are we? Login. This will go into that one, F11. Going into authorization service. It should have an HTTP client there. But this is the wrong address, I think. That should be the same one as this one, 7067. So this one will fail. Which one was it? 7067. Can we change that here? Locals. Where where is the HTTP client? There it is, HTTP client, space address. $70.67, and that's not allowed. Okay. So how do we get this HTTP client? Because this one will fail. Not found. 404, that's right. That's right, so that's not, we need to fix that. So what if we do the exact same thing as in the other one? Let's have a look at the gear page there. Then we have a client factory. What if we put that in? Bonus. Then when it's happening, if that is failing, let's kill that and kill that, then check. No, copy that, and return nothing is not okay. Should return something. Register result. That's in the API. Here. That should be a result bad request something. Is that a register result? Gives an I result. that's not allowed in here. So let's assume that this is fixed, that that's working. But now we need to have the other option then. Client factory. Here. Maybe null, yeah, I know. Oops. Oopsie. Be careful. Well, let's assume that can be null, but then we have the client. That should be there. And we also need to do the same thing there. When we're logging in. That will need client again. There's a client. There's something red in here as well. Now this client logging out, the same thing. Would that work? Now let's break on the, that's already a breakpoint, F5. Let's see if it's building. Let's try this. Is this still using the same client? That's also the wrong one. So we need to fix that as well. Stop this show. So let's try the same thing there, copy. We have an injectable. That will work at least. Then the client's gone. We don't need this one here. Client. Copy. Something like this. Do we have more clients? Don't think so. Okay, let's try it again. Build it. security thing is confusing, if you ask me. I'm waiting for a build, but it's already built, I think. Yes, 5. There's trigger. Oh, and it's a breakpoint. 5. Log in. Joe at docus.nl. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Dash bang. 5. Oh, and it's failing again. Come on. Inspect. What's the error message now? It's different. Object not set to reference. Doesn't that mean the injection is failing? I think it means the injection is failing. $41. Which one? Auth service. Auth service. $41. Yeah, that's the client's client factory is not injected. So that's not working for normal classes, is what it looks like. So what if I roll this back? Bring back the HTTP client. Now we need to find out how to set the base address on HTTP client. Constructor. Set constructor based HTTP client base address. Jack wrote comment and several guys supported him in that is the right decision, but it's the wrong decision. Add HTTP client creates a T-service transient service which is to which it passes an HTTP client only for it. Not working. This is using an HTTP client factory. This is what we have in place, I think. Named client, add HTTP client. Then in the service itself, I used HTTP client factory like below. So it's not using inject, but it's using this. Let's try that. Because we do have that in place. Don't we? See, that's this one. That would need something like this one. This. Let's try that then. F5. I think we're getting close. Oh, what am I doing? I'm dragging all things around. There. Go in there. Log in. Now we are on the breakpoint for the auth service. Now the base address should be, where is it? Yeah, 7067. Right. 5. Joe at docus.nl. Test 1 2 3 4 dash not dot dash dot bang. Submit. and login. Login model. Serialize login. Did something happen there? Darn it. Again. Now on 39. Or 50, 51. That's this one. Why is that? 39, that's this one. The other one is service, auth service 39. That's 39. This is 39. What's in here? I did something strange here. Oh. Jacob from land. From what land? I'm not sure how it's going. I'm trying to connect my API, but doesn't seem to be too lucky with that today. Long story behind the name. Jacob from land. Jacob from land. Let's try this again. What does it say? Object has no reference. On auth servers 39. Or 51. 51, that's there. No, that's not related. Login Razor 59. Login 51. Oh, 51. Where's my line here? 51. This one. This is yeah, it's a mix of C# because this is Blazor, and Blazor uses C# to do things. So let's try to break here again. Is that 51? That's 53. So this one is also failing. Is the auth service, is that null? Let's try it again. Run. So what are you working with? Also C#? You at Docus .nl test 1 2 3 4 .bang. Five ten 10. Now we're posting the login thingy with password 1234.bang. That should be good. Now let's go in if F11. What happened here? Another F11. Now it's crashing. So it fails here. Oh, the HTTP client is null. Why is the HTTP client null? Oh, stupid. It's made a local variable of this. That's not what I wanted to do. It should put it in here. Great. Great thinking. TypeScript primary. Well, that's close to C# if you ask me. But so far I'm doing all these stupid things. And let's break this down and fix this. I earn 5 points for every 10 minutes in chat. Wow, I'm online. Wow, I'm earning 5 points. Let's fix this, because this should not be a local variable. And why is it not warning for that? Let's try this again. It's wasting a lot of time. Oh, I have a free day tomorrow because it's King's Day in the Netherlands as of 10 minutes ago. So we have a national holiday today. Maybe I should say tomorrow, but so far so good. Go in here, log in. Go in there, joe at docus.nl, test 1234.bang, submit. That's sweet. I'm from Sweden myself. We have people from Denmark, also in the chat, I think, if he's still around. He just stopped Scott from Denmark. F5. Oh, I'm now F5ing my browser in another window. Yeah. Now we should have a client with a base address of 7067. That should match the Swagger thingy there, 767, that's okay. Let's continue here, because now it seems to be getting a client. We go into the sign-in manager. We get a new token there, and we get a result back. Successful. Good. Success. Is it success code? True. Yes. Finally. Took some hours to do this, but well, we're not there yet, but we have to check this. F5. F5. And we are logged in. Ta-da! That's great. So now we should also be able to put some things in there. what you actually can use now. Let's try logging out. That will remove the token from the local storage. Let's just do this. Mark user as logged out. And we logged off again. Let's try registering a new one. Maarten@docus.nl test 1234 bang. Test 1234 .bang, I should say, not dash bang. Submit. And now I'm able to log in. Maarten@docus.nl test 1234 .bang. F5, 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 F5. A lot of breakpoints. And I'm logged in. So that's cool. Now I need to make that, to fancy that up a little bit, so that's somewhere in the page, I don't know. You have a Dutch friend though, but do you also speak Dutch? That's the question. Sweden, the country of ABBA. What is there in my music talking about the president? Or is that in my chat window somehow? I don't know. So now we need to check, for instance, for the admin page, I want to put something in there if I'm logged in or logged out to be able to do things. I think everything else is still working. Let's clear some breakpoints. Few other Windows breakpoints. I think it's under debug. Clear all breakpoints. Delete all breakpoints, yes. Yes. That must be a lot cleaner now. F5. That's still working. Oh, why is my database empty? Did I do it again? I don't think so. My initial database thingy. Where is the database thingy? No, where is it? Create if it's not showing anything. Come on, must be in the in here. Create if not exist. So this database thing should also be in here. There, database initializer. So this one is complete. So just let's kill the database there and see what happens. Delete. Oh, it's in use. Yeah, I know, it's in use. Yeah. How do we close that? SQLite there. No, that's SQL Server. That's in here. I have it open in here. Close, close, close. Remove connection. Let's try to do it now. Let's close Fish Studio then. I'm going to... Yeah, I know. Open containing folder. Probably also doesn't work in here. Because it is used by Fish Studio, let's close Fish Studio then. Try again. Oh, it's no longer located. Skip. Skip. It was deleted twice. Okay. We can close that and we can close this. And why do we have this again? Start Fish Studio once more. Software and software. I hope I saved everything. I think I did. I get a login dialog every now and then. Yeah, there's it again. Not sure why it's not persisting. So I killed the database now, so let's run this again and see if it creates a database. There it is. Oh, why is that failing? What? Inspect. Now found another bug. Oh, there we are. Object reference not found set. What? Oh, because there's no database anymore. So this should be done earlier. So, but did it create a database? Now it has a database. So let's run this again. And it's still failing. Authorization in progress. That is interesting because there should be nothing in the database. Let's quickly have a look at the database to see if there's actually something in there. That's the wrong button. I should put the SQLite connection in there. Browse. API. Data. Software. Test connection. Succeeded. Oh. need to do that again, I think. Data, software, test connection, close. Now it's in there. Tables, and there are no users in here now. Where is it? Yeah. Just overlook it. See, there's no user in the database at this time. So that makes me wonder why it is failing. I think it's trying to use an existing token that's still in local storage for today. Let's go into the console there and see where it's breaking. No reference on get authentication state async. State provider 32. Where's the state provider there? 32. It's this one. Oh, I'm doing the same thing here. Is it? The injection is not working here either, so this should be fixed as well. That's interesting, because I would expect that not to be there. We should do the same thing as here. There's the HTTP client, and we have to do the auth service, bring in the factory instead of. Oh, wait, let's undo this here. We should do the same as in here. Copy, insert the client factory. Are you still following me? There's the client factory. Oh. There's a comma too many. And then we have HTTP client. Client equals to, well, I should just copy, oh darn it. Where was it? There. Copy. Create client. And now we don't have client factory here. Is it the only place where we had a client factory? Yeah, that's the initial state. Getting it from there. Let's put a break on this. Okay, let's close the connection then again, because I want to try this again. Close this. Stop debugging. Yeah, now I don't know where the thing was opened. But that is, if I don't run the application, it should be not locked anymore. Soft as in software. Go and kill the database there. Yes. And now let's run it again. See if it's fixed. Possible null. Swagger. See, now it thinks I'm logged in, but that's not possible because I'm actually not logged in because there's nothing in the database that supports this, but it's getting this from the token. So it should check this to see if the item from the token is actually in the database or not. This is the save token. I think if I put an F9 in there and I do a refresh, if I F10 this, it will say that it's already in there from the save token. And that gives a new principal here. Yeah, come on. Why is it continuing? Let's try that again. Thanks for follow. Dimitri TV. Dimitri TV. Dimitri Television. How are you doing today? This is, let's see what this call stack is here. It's an internal call. You're doing fine. Where are you from? We have people from Sweden, and we have people from Denmark, and now we have Brazil. We're all over the place. I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm late at night. It's 12:30 midnight over here, so I'm already late. But we have King's Day tomorrow. Our king is having his birthday. Yes, Netherlands. Yes, Dutch, so to say. We are going Dutch today. So our king is celebrating his birthday today. Let's see a save token. Oh, why is it continuing there? Oh my, too far. I follow devs because I always learn something. So do I. And I'm live streaming so I can learn from my chat people. Because my chat people know way more than I do. Usually. Because there is so much to learn. And you for sure can't know everything. Now I need to check why this failed again. Well, it was not failing, but it's logging me in while there's no logged in client right now. Save token, F10. Why is it jumping immediately to here? Strange. Actually, next week I'll develop an API for my final project. It sounds like a school project, is that right? Computer science, C#. Yep, as in computer science, or yep, as in C#? Not in C#, okay. So what's your API in then? In JavaScript or TypeScript maybe? Yeah, computer science, yeah. I did that years ago, very long time ago. I don't even remember when. I do it Node.js, okay. That's what we see a lot in schools. Most schools don't work directly with Microsoft C# things. I think more like Linux and all the basic stuff like JavaScript and bare bones stuff. Only visible when authorization is in progress. That's an interesting thing. Authorization is in progress. Authorization is in progress. That's in there. So it's triggered by this one internally. I work in a company that uses Rails. Ruby on Rails? But I am not confident to use. I must say I've never used Ruby on Rails, and I'm not sure why I would use that. What's a good argument to use Ruby on Rails? Why should I use Rails? That's a good question. How does it work? What is Ruby Rails for? Benefits: cost effective, 100% free and open source. Sure, yeah. But that also means that you don't have any paid support if you want to be helped. You are depending on the open source community. Secure, flexibility, productivity, employing Ruby to create web applications permits you to develop features extremely fast. This happens because Ruby Effortless combines the third-party software libraries it's amongst the most productive programming language. I'm not sure if that's per definition true, because first, if you don't know it, you have to learn it. And third-party libraries, C# had millions of third-party libraries, but I'm not sure if that's an argument for quick development. So what's the risk of adopting open source packets from someone that has some bad things in mind? A lot of projects use Rails has scalability, yes, true, yeah. Ruby on Rails helps keep a project organized and decipherable, as developers have to follow standardized file storage and programming conventions. Well, that's also with C# and TypeScript and whatnot, because you the C# and TypeScript are typed languages, so there's not like JavaScript that you can assign everything to everything. So I don't think this is really related to Ruby specifically, but that can go for many languages. Maybe I should spend some live coding projects on this, like Ruby's month, October's month of Ruby or something, just to find out what it is and if it's as quick learning as that they mention here. Yeah, there's a lot of things like Shopify and things. Twitch, what Twitch? Is Twitch a Ruby application? Oh, that explains a lot. What the Twitch software was leaked, so yeah, you can learn from that as well. I like to learn C# to see the difference and for fun, of course, yeah. Well, you can just do a couple of things. You can just download the community edition for Visual Studio Community Edition. That's 2022. That's completely free to download and to use. But if you want a lighter version, you can also use Visual Studio Code and download that one. That has also great support for C#. And that's an easy learn. It's a light tool to just get started. I would recommend, if you want to start with that, and just start with codevisualstudio.com. And because that's also what editor do you use for your Node.js development? What is the editor that you use for that? Step backward. That's also interesting. You can step back in code, apparently. Oh, that's going way back. Historical debugging mode. Look for historical state in the locals. That's interesting. You can walk back in your debugging. Would you like to enable IntelliTrace with snapshots to get more detail? Yes, I want to do that. That's this nice, interesting thingy there. F10. So it's triggered from, and now it's live again, I think. That was timed out, I think. There it is. I'm logged in while I'm not in the database as a user, so I should find out how to fix that. Where's the hello thingy? Hello. In here. authorized. Thanks for following. AIM 9084, like in the 84 Big Brother thing. Or are you actually born in 1984? Oh, I'm running out of water. That means my voice will be going down and out. 1994. There's a song on 1994, I think. But I can't play it because I get a copyright strike if I do so. It was in 1999 from Prince. Like, one thing that I hate about Ruby on Rails is the community, that we don't have a lot of information and a lot of open source. I guess C# has a better community for that. I know a lot of devs that use C#, in my opinion. If a Rails dev, my opinion, if has a Rails dev here, yeah, I think, but also, to be honest, if you want support, I think you're better off with C#, because that's an actually supported language, and as you say, there's a bigger community supporting that, I think. But especially in companies, I think C# is much wider used. I think outside companies or open source, I think Ruby is more adopted, like things, JavaScript. Because in the end, Microsoft software is also some sort of a payware. I should check here if the user is actually in the database. Is the user actually in the database? Because I know right now it's not. If I go into the tables here, you will see there's no user in the database, but it still thinks that I'm logged in due to the valid token that's used. So that's a bad thing at this time. Good. Oh, let's see if the gear page is up. Because that was my goal, to see if my gear is all up and running. Yes. So that looks good. Everything works. So I need to fancy this up a little bit so that it's getting in the bar here, the navigation bar. And then we can do some things on the admin page. Let's have a quick look at the admin page if there's an authorization part in there. Go to the code here and check the admin page on the client software, on the client project admin page. It's now authorized, and it's now showing admin page. So what if I show partially information? Not partially. Partially is something you can eat, but partially, as in a small part. Blazor authorize. Yeah, authorize attribute. show info when not authenticated, authorized. Authorized. So can I use this on each page? Authorize view. That's the authorized attribute. You can only see this if you're signed in. Only use authorize on the page component reached via the Blazor router. Authorization is only performed as an aspect of routing and not as for child components, so that's the main page. To authorize the display of specific parts with the page, use authorize view instead. So this is on the full part there. So what they say is you should do something like this. Let's copy the raw thing there. And instead of doing this, maybe do something like this. Let's put that up there. So we put the title in there. Context, identity. I wonder if that's still the one. It's exactly the same thing as the see in the other one, is it? Authorized. What if you're not authorized? Yeah, there you are. If you're not authorized, you should see something different. Where's my visitor there? Copy. You can only see this if you're not authorized. I'll save that. Oh, that's not right. The context isn't captured. Oh, yeah, it needs to restart the application. Rebuild and apply changes. Tum, tum, tum. It's getting late. It's already 1 p.m. Well, 1 a.m. I should say. So yeah, if this works, then we need to wrap this up. F9. Oh, I'm refreshing my other browser in the other screen again. There we are. It says I'm logged in now. I'm actually not, because this user is not in the database, but let's have a look at the admin page. Yes, you can only see this if you're authorized, authenticated. And now I log off here. And now, not authenticated, that's good. Now, the interesting thing, if I go in there like with the name that doesn't exist anymore, docus.nl, but it was using the token that was still alive. Test 1234.bang. Now I'm exposing my password, my highly secret password. Submit. That's saying that there's no user with that password because it simply does not exist. So let's register it for now. Test, test 1234 dot bang. Test 1234 dot bang. Submit. And now, if you go in, let's first check because we're still not authorized. Go log in. Test 1234 dot bang. Go back to admin. Oh. And now we are logged in again. Great. Did it work? Cool. But I don't want to deploy this yet to my main website. Let's check. HTTPS soft as in software.com. That's my production site. There's no logging in there yet, and the admin is still empty. Let's see if the gear is completely filled, and it is. Let's check. This is the lens that I just bought, and it says it's a perfect gift for Mother's Day. I think it's a better gift for Father's Day, to be honest. I have a Sigma on that now. That's a 30mm. That's this one. I need to focus that a little bit. Can I focus it? Yeah. So that's a different one. This is the one on screen I just bought, and but I'm going to use that to make some holiday pictures. Expensive for holiday pictures, but yeah, you have to do something. This all works. Go home. There's what we are doing right now. If we click on this, we probably see the live stream. Oh, and just kill the audio there. There we are. What? That's not the right one. That's the previous one. I don't know why the one for today is not in there. Control F5. I would expect to have... Oh, it's not public yet. I didn't... Oh, really? We are live streaming, is it? YouTube. On YouTube? We are live. Not sure why it's not showing in my website yet. Yeah, that's really live. One household, 6 accounts, one great prize. I don't know. Oh, this is an Inception. Browser in the browser, and the browser and the browser. Let's close that. Good. If you are on YouTube right now, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified of my next videos. I will go on holidays probably soon to make great pictures with my new lens, obviously. So you'll be not streaming, I think, for about a week or so. If you're on Twitch and you don't already follow me, please follow me to get notified there as well. And I think we make great progress today by adding authentication to the website using an API. And the website is a WebAssembly website, so that's very interesting to put authentication in there as a client without putting secrets in there. So let's go to the main window there and see what's around. Well, let's just log off today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to follow and subscribe and hit the bell and whatnot. I was glad to have you all in the chat window to have some great discussions. Thanks for the follow, Dimitri TV and AIM 9084. I hope to see you soon back. And I think that will be this week. And next week also, not next week, but the week after that. But yeah, you're a follower, so you can get your notification already. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.